Have you realized that your career is actually a 40-year voyage? And if you're like me, well, you're probably only halfway through it. How then can you make the rest of your journey even more meaningful? We all change over time. What was important to us 10 years ago, like maybe money, job titles, may not be our top priority today. In fact, would what we enjoy today be of any value to us 10 years from now? So, are we chasing our current dreams at the expense of future goals? We need to review our past, reflect upon our present, and then create the future we want. We need to examine how things like financial security, career satisfaction, personal relationships factor into our life and how it should drive our career strategy.
So, instead of blindly putting in the hours of hard work every day, come, find out how you can achieve lasting career success and learn how to live a meaningful life through your career. Click the link to find out now.
Good morning, Singapore. Good morning, everyone on LinkedIn. Hi, my name is Adrian, and I'm the CEO, founder of CareerClarity International. And together with me, as always, on every Friday morning, we have Yen. Good morning, Yen.
Good morning. Good morning. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. And you know what? We are just merely 7 weeks away from Christmas.
And you're counting down to your holiday.
I've kind of my holiday. Yeah, I know.
How long more?
4 weeks actually. So I'll be out for 2 weeks. The career succession will be out for a while. We're gonna do reruns, but we always have you in mind. But one thing that I'm just amazed yet is that the malls haven't started playing Christmas music yet. I would imagine like maybe next week. I think in November they start playing. Really
When
fast.
I went grocery shopping yesterday, it was still Deepavali music, which is nice.
Oh, okay.
It was a nice instrumental, so it was cool. I think everyone's looking forward to Halloween first.
Yeah, I think so. Probably,
Lots of
after
pumpkins,
this,
lots of candy.
yeah, and I think this year people will be giving out cheaper candy because of inflation. Like the White Rabbit sweet or probably. Are they still available? The White Rabbit sweets? Oh no.
I have no idea, but in my neighborhood NTUC has a refrigerator of White Rabbit ice cream.
Ice cream. Oh, I haven't tried it yet.
Which
I know, it's so tempting.
is I think very unique. I've not
Yeah,
tried
I
it either
know.
because sugar.
Both of us, right? So, welcome if you've just joined us. My name is Adrian. Once again, I'm a CEO, founder of CareerClarity International, and Yen with me. Every Friday morning, we do a career success show where we talk about things that matter to your career. And today, we're going to talk about 5 career questions that you honestly need to answer. And if you're wondering who are these guys, Adrian and Yen, they appear every Friday morning sharing insights and everything. Well, we are Career Agility International. We are a team of very experienced career coaches who help clients like yourself, who are executives, whether you're in the early part of your career or in the later part of your career, or in the middle, maybe you're just in the middle and wanting to accelerate. We are here to offer you clarity so that you can achieve your career success that's meaningful to you.
Everything you just said, right? We're helping. So, okay, an age group from 22 to 67. Come look for us. We'll have answers for you.
I don't know if we are that great with the 22s because the 22s they seem to know more than us. So it's when I was 22, I knew everything in the world as well, right? When we were 22, it's like, wow,
Adrian, we had a question just popped up. Please explain what White Rabbit is.
Okay. White Rabbit. Okay, anyone who recalls who grew up in our genre?
Just look it up, guys. Just look.
It's a sweet. Okay, there are 2 White Rabbits. Okay, one is the sweet, which is they used to serve the milky sweet with this layer of paper like wrapper, which you can actually eat that piece of paper. When we were kids at Chinese New Year, we used to love it. The other White Rabbit, you have to watch The Matrix to figure out. Okay, follow the White Rabbit. Anyway. Sorry,
or
that's
the
the first
Alice.
movie reference for the mornings. Or Alice in Wonderland, I guess. So,
Anyway, just look it up. It's a piece of candy and it's
or
amazing.
or 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 okay, the third movie reference for the Donnie Darko. Never mind, you go
Oh
Google
no,
that.
I've
Okay,
not
I'm
seen that
sure
one.
disturbing. So anyway,
Okay,
I'm sure Yuho,
let's not
who's
go
our
there.
regular, is gonna watch it. But anyway, today we're gonna talk about career questions that we honestly need to answer. Sorry, we need to answer very, very honestly. And how
Mm,
how this came about is because we were having a lot of discussions this week over the cases which we have been meeting up with and we've been helping over the past 2 weeks. And these are some of the questions that we ask our clients, and they find difficulty answering them, don't they?
yes. These are questions that are really hard because we lack, I think, fortune telling skills. If only I had some fortune telling powers, right? Not an issue at all. I would know exactly what route to take. I know exactly what decision to make. But that's our conundrum here. We don't know what's going to happen. We can't predict the future. The future might be bumpy. Nobody predicted COVID.
Yeah.
When we kind of start out in our career, we kind of land somewhere most optimal. We don't make any deliberate decisions, and then we just find our way after a while, going like, "Hey, hang on, how did I get here? I'm
Yeah.
not happy here." So that's usually what happens.
Yeah, and then suddenly, a trigger happens, something happens in your life or in on your job. A new boss comes in, or suddenly you're just waking up on a Monday morning and wondering, why am I doing this for? Then they
Yeah.
start asking the question. So what we want to do today is we want to share with you the 5 very critical career question you need to answer honestly. Okay, very
Yes.
honestly. And if you don't have the answer to it, it's okay. Go find out the answers. And if the answers are very clear to you, then congratulations, fantastic. We are so happy for you. But if the answers are making you nervous, okay, or I may not even have the answer, then please reach out to us. info@careeragility.org, and that's
I'm
what
still
we are here to
asking.
do.
I'm still asking those questions myself, and I can't answer them either. Sometimes these are
Yeah,
the
I
questions that
know.
you want to revisit every
Yeah.
other quarter or so, kind of like once in a year, kind of review and go like, is this what I
Yeah.
signed up for? Is this really what I want?
Yeah. In fact, question number 4, which we're gonna go, has both Yen and myself scratching our heads as well.
Answering
Okay, if you're still trying to figure out what to
very
answer,
snappy
okay,
answers. Oh, I
we
know
don't
the
have
answers.
we don't have the answer to that yet either. So maybe you can help us along. Okay, when we talk about question number 4, this sounds like one of those clickbaity things. Question number 4 is gonna
Yeah.
stump you.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
yes.
one of those
Yeah.
also clickbait. So anyway,
And then
today we're gonna talk
later
about the
jump
5.
scare.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna share screen. Okay, so we're gonna look at
Yes.
what are the 5 career questions you need to honestly answer. But the first thing we're gonna talk about, the first question is what's next. If you
Yep.
wherever you are, whether you're at the front end of your career, your mid-careerist, or the tail end, the what's next question is one of the biggest questions you need to ask yourself, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Love this question because if you don't predict or you don't plan for what's going to happen, then your roof is going to be leaking the next time it rains.
Yeah.
It's one of the many things that I think we've been drumming this beat for a long time. But like, do your resume, get your LinkedIn, get your messaging, figure out your narrative, plan your next
Mm,
steps. Because by the time it rains and your roof is, they're trying to patch your roof, and you come
yeah,
to
it's
us and you go, I hate my job, people are getting retrenched, or I need to get a job urgently. You can't turn back the clock. So, get all your ducks in a row. I think I've used
quack
this
quack
metaphor
quack.
beur.
Yes.
Get the ducks in a
Get
row.
all your
So,
white rabbits in a row.
yeah.
And
And even
yeah.
if you don't need them, even if you don't
Yeah,
actually
exactly.
execute the ducks, it's
Exactly.
okay because it's
Wait,
all
what do you
right.
mean by execute the ducks? You sound horrible. Execute the ducks. Okay.
Shooting the ducks.
Execute
We have to line them up so that we use fewer bullets.
Yeah, if you don't execute the ducks properly, your goose is cooked. Okay, so it's enough a poultry reference here. But one of the big questions we always get asked now, we ask people, should I stay or should I go? So it's
You
like,
go
should I
like,
leave
what
or
do
should
you
I stay,
think?
right? Yeah, what do you think?
What do you
Should I
think?
leave? And this is one of the toughest ones because
Yeah.
sometimes the inertia makes you want to stay in your role, but you know that you're not going to retire in that job, in this
Yeah.
job. in this
Yeah,
company, in this
and I
role.
think there's a lot of fear as well, because if you are doing very well and you're wondering why would I want to leave, but
Yeah,
by the time things are on the downtrend, on the downward trend, maybe there are no buyers.
yeah. So it's like, do I leave on a high, or do I wait till I
Wait
pass
until
my
things are
prime?
really, really bad. Yeah.
Really bad, you know. And this is really, really tough, because a lot of times it is emotional as well. And one of the
Yes.
silliest reasons, sorry to say this, yeah, one of the silliest reasons I've heard about I don't want to leave is because I'm very loyal to my company.
Oh, or my boss. Actually, there are people out there who feel obligated to support their leaders to the
Mhm.
very end.
And some bosses are great, you know. Some bosses deserve that level of loyalty.
Yes.
Okay, but we have seen, but we have seen individuals who are so blindly loyal. Okay,
Yes.
and I can tell you, you know, when I was headhunting, I would share the role with a prospective candidate, and he would say, "No, I'm very loyal to my boss. I don't want to leave my boss." And I would ask him this question: "What makes you so sure I'm not talking to your boss now for another role?"
Mm.
Yeah, you know, and because a
And
lot
what
of times I
happens when
am.
your boss retires?
Yeah.
And I mean, the relationship still stays great.
Yeah.
You're there to support your leader for the whatever the duration,
Mm.
and then one day he or she decides, okay, it's time for me to go out to pasture. Goodbye.
Mm.
And then
Bye.
you've lost your sponsor.
Yeah, you
That's
know,
tough.
your air cover, your backup, or whatever you call it. So one of the questions you ask yourself is, do I stay or do I go? And when? Okay,
Mm.
when and how? And if I leave,
Yeah.
where to? So there are a lot of things. And if you're unhappy in your job, okay, one of the bigger challenges you need to ask yourself is, what's my key issue? What's my key problem? Is it not enough money? Is it not enough time?
Always.
Or is it
Always.
I don't know, you know. Like, okay. You look. Okay. I want to challenge you on this. Always, the new UK Prime Minister. Okay,
Yes.
he is like one of the richest people
He's a
in.
gazillionaire. Yes.
Yeah, you know, he's actually almost as I read. My son was telling me yesterday. He read somewhere that they are actually richer than the royal family put together.
Correct.
Okay, so
He's got more assets apparently.
yeah, so it's not always about the money, but sometimes it's about the power. The power, you know, to
Maybe for yeah. What's
we,
my
we never
key
know,
issue,
right?
Adrian? My key issue is lack of sleep.
Oh, join the club. Don't worry, you can
Look, my
take the
eye
afternoon
bags
off
have eye
today.
bags. Oh, thank you, boss. You're
You can
so
take the afternoon
kind.
off today. The weekend's coming up, and you know, and I'll be away on leave for 2 weeks. You guys can just switch off.
All right, you're shutting down.
But anyway, you know, you need to know what key issues are, and sometimes
Yes.
the key issue is clouded. You would think that it's
Yes.
about the money, but it's not about the money. So, one question we'd like to ask you to ask yourself is this: if you think it's about the money, what if you got a 50% increase in salary? Would that make you happy, and for how long? If you say, yeah, it'll make me
Yeah.
happy for the 2 months, 3 months after that, then you know that it's not about the money anymore. Something else is there. But the money issue is emotional, so it clouds a lot of us up. You need to know what your key issues are.
Yeah. And sometimes when you're in the midst of a very stressful season and you're thinking, oh, no, this is too much. I can't take this. I really don't like this. But not realizing that it is these challenges, these projects, these stressful times that gives you your triumphs. And then at the end of that journey, you're going, oh, I'm glad I did it. So maybe you just need to toughen it out, right? Maybe sometimes there's more than meets the eye.
It's it sounds like, isn't it a tagline for Transformers?
It's a transformer.
Okay. So many movie references today. Okay, anyway, but you need to know what your key issue, and you know, and if you're thinking, I want to get a promotion, the question to ask
Yeah.
yourself is, do I really want
Do
my
I really
boss's
want my
role?
boss's job?
And
No.
this has stumped a lot of our clients, haven't it? When we ask them the
I think
question.
a lot of people think that their bosses have it easy. That I don't think they know it till they inhabit that role,
Yeah.
or they put on those pair of shoes. There's a lot of other there are other undercurrents. There are subtexts. There are dynamics that are not visible to you at this stage because you're looking at your boss and going, he's just there. You
Yeah.
don't realize it. Yeah, there are other things going on that you don't have visibility on. So think
Yeah.
about it and ask more questions and figure out what's really going on.
And this question is really funny because when we ask our clients, do you want your boss's role? They pause and they think like, no, I don't think I want my boss's role. Actually,
Because I don't want to manage people like me.
Because I know how screwed up this team is. I'm not, no, but then the next question is, then what? then,
Yeah.
then back to the original question.
Yeah.
Then what's next? If you don't want your boss's role, then what do you want? You see,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
if you and where do you go? Do you once again? It circles
Yeah.
back to the first question. Then do I stay or do I leave? Because if I don't want
Yeah.
my boss's role, if I want to cruise or hover in my current role, then it's fine. But if you don't want to, you want to
Yeah.
accelerate, then that is once again these three questions are tied up. That's why we put them all three in a
Yeah.
bunch.
And sometimes you're thinking, but I'm happy right now. Status quo is wonderful for me. Great, good. And if I'm listening to the both of us right now, and I'm thinking, why are these people keep talking about what's next? What's next? What's wrong with staying still? The danger is that time does not stay still. And if you don't keep up with what's going on in your market or deliberately make plans and decisions, then
Yeah.
you're not really progressing, you're regressing. Even if you're staying still,
Yeah,
you
everyone
are
else is
going
moving ahead
backwards.
in your
Yeah.
in relativity,
Yeah.
right? So you're just being pushed
Yeah.
back. So, and once again to your point, you fix the roof when it's not raining. So you always want, okay, another movie reference. When I watch Jason Bourne, the movies, right? He's sitting in a cafe and half the time, he's looking for exits because he knows he might get hit any time, right?
So
So
stressful, huh?
yeah, so stressful, right? But then again,
There's no
that's
rest.
life. But that's life in the corporate world as well. You always need to have an eye on the exits. Where are the exits?
Yeah.
Where are the opportunities? So you always must have that kind of mindset to have an exit strategy, exit plan. Even as you are working in the job and enjoying the stuff that you're doing, always have that exit plan. So these
Yeah.
are just some questions which we really need to ask ourselves. And for those
Let's
of
not
you,
stress out. Wait, let's not stress our
Yeah.
listeners too much. To our listeners, we don't need
it's
detailed
Friday
plans.
morning.
We don't need detailed plans down to the nth degree. We just need
Yeah.
you to have some generic idea about what's next. Sometimes, if things are going well for you, just have a generic plan. Perhaps some idea, some segments.
At least
don't-
have a plan, right? At least have
Right,
a
you
plan.
don't need to say, okay, if that guy attacks me, then I'm going to use my fork to stab him, and then we don't need that degree of detail.
We're gonna scoop his eyeball out with this spoon. So no, so we
It's an
our
Alan
lesson
Rickman
is this.
reference.
Have a plan, okay?
Yes.
But even before you have a plan, start thinking about this. Today we're not asking you about do you have a plan. Start thinking about
Yeah.
this. And for those of you who just joined us, once again, my name is Adrian, and I'm the CEO founder of CareerClarity International. And Yen is my co-founder, and together, we are CareerClarity
We argue a
International,
lot.
and we argue a lot. No, we don't. Okay. So we help individuals like yourself to achieve career clarity so that you can enjoy the things that matter to you in life, not just your career, but everything else that is important for you. Once your career is sorted out, once your career strategy is in place, it'll give you that confidence and clarity for you to pursue the other things that are even more important in your life. So just hang in there, and we are always here for you. So I think this one is, if you're really, really happy and successful now, we are very happy for you. Okay. And in fact, many of our clients who come to us are very happy and successful in their careers. And this is what we want to ask them, because a lot of times they feel that I'm okay, I don't need to think about it because I got a plan and everything, all good. But the question we want to ask them is this: what does career success look like to me, to yourself, in 2026, in 2030? You want to share a little bit more about this? Yeah.
I have no idea what 2026 is going to bring. I tend to go on the side of pessimism. We've been very bruised, and COVID was an unexpected worldwide phenomenon. So who knows? When someone asks me a predictive question, what do you think is going to happen? I'm like, I don't know. It could step out the door and get run down by a bus. I don't know. So what does career success look like to me? I focus on the elements that are really important, whether or not I am sufficiently challenged, whether I'm sufficiently happy with the type of work and the job scope. So I kind of not dream too much. I don't want to have like unicorns and rainbows, because that's not doesn't work. What about you? What does career success look like to you in 2026? I mean,
Uh,
unless you aspire to PM status or something.
no, it won't be PM status. For me, career success in 2026 to me is actually just carrying on the momentum of what we are doing now, because we are touching so many lives. We are changing so many lives. When for myself, when I walk down the road, when I'm at Raffles Place, a lot of people come up to me and they go like, "Hey, Adrian, I watch your show or your Friday morning shows with Yen, and great advice. It's changed my life." And our one-on-one clients as well, when they come to us and they bring us great news, and the relationships are built. It's just awesome and fantastic. And this was the vision which I had back in 2012 when I was starting to conceptualize the whole idea of Career Agility International. So, what's career success like to me in 2026? I think scaling up, helping even more people, and being able to touch even more lives. I think that to me is exciting, and being able to get my afternoon naps as well. Very important. Career success to me
Work-life
is
balance.
work-life balance, getting that frame of mind right, and leading a dynamic team like you guys, yourself, Gabby and Val and Ram and the whole gang, just having fun and doing our best for the people who matter to us. So I think
I
that's
think
really,
it's important.
yeah. But
To
then
figure out what makes work fun, right?
yeah, because one thing we want to share with you, our dear viewers who are watching us today, okay, your career success, what's important, what's your career success today may not be what's career success to you in 2026 or 2030 even. Okay,
Mm,
2030, today it might be money, big job titles and fancy cars and the ability to jet set and travel regionally for business and everything. But in 7 years time, in 8 years time, it may not be the case. You might want to have the
yeah,
financial freedom. You might want to have the freedom to do what you want, that's fun and what you love. Plan for that, because it's a moving target and you
yeah.
have to shoot ahead of where you are right now in order to get there. And you have a good 6 years, 8 years to plan ahead. So the important career question ask yourself is, what does career success look like for me in 2026 and how do I get there? Not easy,
I'm
this question.
thinking, I'm thinking porch swing, cold drink, mosquito repellent, laptop.
Uh,
Yeah, anyway,
cigar
let's move
chomping,
on.
cigar chomping, get off my lawn, kind of a grumpy old man, grumpy old man.
Right? Oh, that's so fun.
No, I
Yeah.
think watching our kids grow up and things like this, the element
Oh
of like
no, empty nesting.
empty nesting.
No,
But one thing I
I
want to
can't.
share with our listeners as well is this, and Yen and I have a lot of very long discussions about this, is that uh, when we talk
We
about what
do.
does career success look like, a lot of times the
It's
conversation
rarely.
steers away from career itself.
It's
Okay.
rarely job title. It's
Yeah.
rarely more work. It's rarely more work. But the
Yeah.
career success does not equate more work.
Yeah, or more money, it'll come a point in time where you realize that I actually want to do more meaningful stuff. And then you
Yeah,
need to ask yourself, what is meaningful to me? Okay, is it
yeah.
helping a lot of people? Is it coaching? Is it spending time with my family? Or maybe even pivoting into something totally different. So these are all exciting ideas which you need to start thinking about. Okay,
Yep.
and this
I
is the
love
one
this one.
which, yeah, what do I want to be when I grow up?
One of the most amazing women leaders. She was my boss back in DBM days.
Mm,
I think it was in my 30s, and she was just, she was running the region and all. She was amazing. So I told her one day, I want to be like you when I grow up. There was this gravitas, there was
mhm.
this confidence, and all she was amazing. The
Let me tell
voice,
you.
everything.
Let me tell you a funny story. Okay, so when I was graduating from business school in the US,
Yeah.
way back when, I went for an interview. Okay, and this interview was with I've always been very medical related. My interest was there, and I went for this interview with this medical device company that does scopes. And I was interviewed as a fresh grad, I was interviewed by this American lady, okay, who was the MD for APEC. And I walked into her office and she was interviewing me, and the office, this was way back in 94, 95, okay? The office reeked of cigarette smoke, okay?
Oh dear.
She looked frazzled, she looked stressed out, she had her hands were like shaking,
Oh
and she looked so
dear.
stressed out, and we were talking about it. It was interesting, and she said, "No, Adrian, I actually see a lot of potential in you. If you work with me, I'll train you up. A couple of years, you'll be just like me." I was going like, "Oh, no,
No,
I
thank
don't
you.
think so. No, thank you. Bye. I don't want to be just like you. I don't want to be like that when I grow up, you see." So,
Mm,
and it's funny, even if you're in the 40s, people still ask us this question. Why? I don't know what I want to be. And I
yeah.
think it's perfectly okay, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's perfectly fine. I think your gut will probably steer you in the right direction. And I think what we also do instinctively is that we admire people, we observe others, and we know what we want to emulate, and we know some of these not so good examples of what leadership is, and we try to steer away from that sort of behavior, and then we kind of hopefully amalgamate something that's our own identity. I think that's
Yeah.
okay.
And
Yeah.
I think, and we develop, and it shifts over time as well. Well, I want to do this, I want
Yeah.
to do that.
We're a work in
But
progress.
but you need to know what you want to be in order
Yeah.
for you to become the thing that you want to be. So and this is it's a simple question, but it's a complex question. Okay,
Yes.
it's not
Very
so
complex.
straightforward. So we need to
I
figure
want to
out.
be rich.
I want to be rich, and I want, and it's in rich. I don't want to be wealthy, and I want to be prosperous, but it
I
may
want
not
to
be the
make
money
sure
issue once again, right? There's
healthy.
there's one very interesting saying which I always tell my kids, which goes that there are some people who are so poor, all they have is
Mm.
money.
Oh wow.
There's some
Okay.
people who are so poor, all they have is money. Okay, and that's a wake up call, because and what do I want to be? So what do you want to be depends on several things. Number one, what are you right now? Okay, and
Yeah.
and it's what you want to be realistic. What is it based on? Is it based on your friends? Based on something you saw in the movies? I know some people who wanted to be lawyers when I was younger, because they were watching a lot of Ellie McBeal.
Mm,
Okay,
mm.
and no, is that a fair? And if you're right now where you are in your career, and if you're wondering, what do I want to do next, which harks back to the first question: what do I want to be when I'm 50? When I'm 55? If I want to be retired, then hey, you better put your strategy in place,
Yeah.
because it's not cheap in Singapore, and you need a lot of money and a lot of strategies in place. So it's not just about the career strategy. Once again, it's about your life strategy,
Yeah.
isn't it?
All of the above. All of the above.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
I want to be
So
when I grow up, it's not as easy as it sounds,
yeah.
as you have rightly pointed out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so one of my favorite stories is I always tell this. My daughter was when she was in primary school. She used to complain. She came back one day crying, and she said, "Daddy, we had a
Mm.
career day in school today, and I do not know what I want to be when I grow up." And I said, "Don't worry, I meet a lot of 40-year-olds with the same problem, so it's very common. Okay, you're not alone. Come talk to us if you are stuck." And for those of you who are just joining us and wondering what's these two people talking about today, we are Career Agility International, and we are here to help you to enjoy career success that matters to
Yeah.
you. And we are here to provide career clarity, either on my morning Thursday shows on the radio, or our Friday morning LinkedIn live show. Every Friday morning we have it, and we rerun it on a Saturday and a Sunday. We have lots of topics. We have lots of information to share with you, lots of wisdom that we have gathered over the years from wiser people than us, and we are just repackaging it and sharing it with you, because it's life changing.
I think the biggest thing is that our clients don't journey alone, because I think a lot of the wisdom they probably already have. They just needed perspectives,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's what we're here to do. We're here to provide you that perspective, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel, and helps you to refocus on the things that do matter. Yeah.
Yeah, correct. No, don't reinvent the wheel. That's the right thing. We're going to talk about point number 5, but
Yep.
point number 4 is the one that's going to be fun. We promise. Point number 4
Yeah.
is going to amaze you, and this is point number 4. Okay, what would the 70-year-old me say to myself today, based on my career decisions?
Do more exercise.
Do
Get
my,
more sleep. Eat more healthily.
as I said yesterday, take care of your teeth. Okay, so I just cracked
Right.
my molar last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would tell myself, no, take care of your teeth. Come on, your teeth. So no, don't aim at the potato chip pack can't open you. It's like don't do that. Take
Or
care of
what
your teeth.
you were saying not too long ago, you would bite into the crab shells Remember when
Yeah,
I
that
don't
was
know
stupid.
about
In
you,
fact,
but when I was
if
younger, I was like, whoa, my teeth are so strong, I would just bite into the crab shell.
I know, I see my kids
And I
doing
was,
that, tearing apart they
oh.
say, no, don't. They say, no, my teeth are strong. I said, darn it, arrogance of
But
youth. I said, no,
sometimes it's not about that, right? Because sometimes we get stressed and then we grind.
yeah, correct.
If you grind at night, and that's not going to help,
Yeah,
is it? Yeah.
and I'm a grinder, so
Oh
that
dear.
kind of sucks. But that's why my borders are cracking. But anyway, take good care of
Oh
your teeth.
dear.
But you know,
Yikes.
that's what is interesting is that what would the 70-year-old you in 20 whatever the date is, no matter how young you are, you do your
I
math.
can't math.
Okay, I don't want to math also. It's Friday morning. You know, am I going to regret what I'm doing now? You see,
Yeah.
like you know, it's
Yeah.
it's like I left Shell in 2000-ish. Okay, and people ask me, you know, do you regret leaving Shell?
Why? Yeah.
You know, so you know, and I said, why? You know, why? He said, oh, because it's such a great company and everything. But I know I don't look back. I thought it's a great move. And one interesting person I know, okay, he said something very, very salient. He said that there's no point looking backwards in life and the decisions you could have made, you could have made, or you should have made, or you shouldn't have made, or you couldn't have. Because the decision you take at that point in time was probably the best one based on the information which you had back then, right?
Yep.
And it's a more matter of right now, today, hindsight bias. Oh, I should have done that because the stock market went down, or the property market went up. You know, I should have bought Bitcoin when it was $2, kind of thing. Yeah, we didn't know back then, right? So don't regret it. But when you are making a career decision now, you got to ask yourself, no, is the 70-year-old me gonna look back and go,
Yeah.
oh, that was stupid, kind of thing.
We still get a lot of clients who say I should have or I shouldn't have, or I'm not sure that was a great move and it's only been 6 months or a year, or they jump into a new job and they go, okay, this is not good. And then they come back to us and go, I think I made a mistake, or, you know, whatever. It doesn't, in fact, to all our listeners, you don't have to wait until you're 70 to ask
Yeah,
us,
that's
you
true.
know, in terms of this question, you don't have to wait until, you know, you don't have to do what the 70-year-old me is saying. You can just say, what would the 5-year ahead of me person say about this role or this move? And I think for our listeners, again, the idea of this question is not the question itself, but the intent, which is going to help you make the decision today by looking ahead so that you can look back, kind of inhabit that future you. It's psychologically, I guess, helpful. Because if you're mired in today's messes, then a lot of that decision is going to be emotional. So you just want to like take a pause, and let's just pretend to be a lot older, you know, whatever, and just look back and go, pretend, right? And so it helps with the thinking and the decision because, like Adrian pointed out, looking back with hindsight bias is not helpful. In fact, we end up bruising ourselves a lot more, going like, yeah, I'm stupid. Yeah, that was dumb. Why? You know, you can't turn back the clock, right?
Yeah.
But if you do find yourself in a situation today where you're like, okay, I think this was a bad move, come look for us, because the idea now is to move forward. How to sandbag, how to scaffold, how to repaint, how to readjust your new reality.
Or even backpedal a little bit, no, to reverse whatever.
Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. But you know, you might need some friends to help you manage your new reality until you can readjust it into something a lot more suitable.
And one of the things, you know, if you can't wait till 40 years time or 30 years time for the 70-year-old to look back at you and tell you whether it's a good move or not, you have the benefit of coming to us, okay? Because collectively, Yan and I have more than 40 plus years of career coaching and headhunting experience. We've seen a lot, we've experienced a lot, we've gone through enough cases to know that it's whether or not the move you're going to make is a good one or a risky one, okay? We can provide a kind of perspective. So you don't have to wait 40 years from today to get it out, okay? If you come to us, you know, and the advice and the assurance that we can provide you, will give you another perspective and look on it. That's why a lot of clients, they come to us, they just want to have that assurance that, you know, okay, there's another pair of eyes looking over my career and making sure that without any hidden agenda, okay, don't count on your boss to look after your career, because as far as he's concerned, he either wants you to be his pet forever if you're really great. Can
I just interject at this point, right? To all our listeners, right? Adrian is so optimistic, and I just want to put a caveat on this, right? Caveat, guys, we're not the oracle. We cannot predict the future. We can give you some assurance. We can give you some mental and emotional support. But we don't have all the answers.
We
But
provide
we
you a
do have,
perspective.
a lot of experience in this, and so to a large extent, it helps you to have I guess, better decision making, or
Yeah.
in the metaphor of a car that's driving on this road, right? We provide you brighter headlights.
And
Brighter
also,
headlights. We
and
don't have
also
floodlights.
better better navigation advice, I would say. Okay, because we've
Yeah,
traveled the road
yeah,
before.
yeah. We've got
We
the
are that
map.
we are that we are that we are the Uber driver that's gone up and down this stretch like a bazillion times, stretching our
Yes, yes,
everyone
yes,
else.
yes.
So we are
Yeah,
familiar. We see certain patterns and we tell you that, hey,
yeah.
So that's where our clients come to us. So if you're at a career conundrum, or if you're in a mid-career crisis right now, come talk to us. info@careeragility.org. And we've been talking about this all this while, the four questions about what do we want next, what would the 70-year-old person or me say to myself now, what do I want to be when I grow up, how do I get there. These are all valid questions, and the answers can be found if you spend enough time thinking about it. Okay, but the big question is, do I want to go at it alone, and who can I count on? As I said earlier, can you count on your boss for good career advice? I don't know, Yen. What do you think?
To some extent, yes. But it's your job to figure out whose advice is going to be the most helpful. Because there are some really well-meaning leaders,
There
well-meaning
are, there are, there
relatives,
are.
well-meaning spouses, well-meaning like second uncles, cousins, brothers, sister,
Yeah.
who can just go like, oh, don't worry, you should dot dot dot, or it'll be fine because dot dot dot, and whatever it is, your job is to synthesize and figure out what works for you and what doesn't. So I think it's important that you have the logic, the reasoning, the thinking, the dashboarding that
Yeah.
is objective, and that's what we provide, because we
Yeah.
don't have any hidden agenda. And as you were talking about the car metaphor, right? And this is a good segue, because what you need perhaps is a navigator to
Mm-hmm.
be on the passenger
We
seat,
are
just
we are
to,
like
hey,
your we are like
look
your
out for
Google
that
Map.
speed bump.
We are
Look
like
out
your
for
Google
that
Map.
speed bump. Yeah, there's a speed
Slide,
bump right there.
yeah, slide left at the next junction, or
Actually, no, Google
traffic
Maps don't
accident
tell
ahead.
you. Google Maps don't tell you that there's a huge roadblock, maybe roadblock, but there's a huge
Google Maps does tell you
drainage.
if there are accidents. Okay, they do
Yes,
monitor, so
yes.
they,
They
they do
monitor
help
the
to a certain
accidents, but they
extent.
don't tell you the road conditions, like if there's a huge, chasm, or there's a
Yeah,
speed bump, or they do
yeah.
tell. I don't know. I get warnings for speed traps. I like that.
So, don't want to go. And if you look at the normal learning curve, the pain curve, it's usually very long and very deep. Okay, some people have got appetite for that, but some people have realized that, hey, it's not worth that depth of the pain and the length of the pain when it comes to adjustment and planning a career strategy on your own. If I can engage someone like Career Agility to shorten the curve and make it less painful, I know that's ROI is there already. So that's what we always believe. We can help you make better decisions, quicker decisions, and wiser decisions. But ultimately the decision is yours. But you get not just one but two different perspectives. Yan has a point of view on things. Okay, I have my point of view on things. We don't always agree, but ultimately we have your best interest at heart, and that's why
Yep.
we've been running this for the past 5 years already, and we've helped thousands of people. So it's very exciting. So the question is, do you want to do this alone, or will you want to have someone who is an expert? Because we have our career partner program that's designed for individuals like yourself, who just either you're looking for a career change, or you're looking for a promotion, or you're just wondering what's next, or how do I handle this tricky situation in my current company. Come talk to us. We have very specialized career programs, and it's one-on-one, it's bespoke, it's customized, and
Yeah.
you get to spend time with Yen and myself in order to where we'll walk you through your current situation and provide you a little bit of reality check.
Yeah. Again, I repeat, don't wait until it's raining to fix your roof. Fix your roof
Yeah.
today. Build a strong roof, the kind of roof that can withstand 4 feet of snow.
I don't know.
That came
Singaporean,
from
I
a
cannot.
reference. Remember when Malaysia Railway was running the railway? Anyway, the Malaysian Railway station in KL.
Uh-huh.
followed British standards of architecture. So the roof is built to withstand snow. We don't
Oh,
have
wow.
snow, but FYI. So build a strong roof and you'll have shelter.
Yeah. Well, that's true, but I don't know about the 4 feet of snow, but it's a good
It
one. I'm
was a
going to use
joke.
that
It
example.
was
I
it was a
know.
very funny joke. Yeah.
I
It's
don't
still a
think it's a joke.
reality
It's
today. Look it
probably
up.
real, but
No,
anyway,
it is. It is.
it is
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Come talk to us. info@careeragility.org. We're always here.
Yes.
Reach out to us, especially if you're a career crossroader and wondering what's next, or if you have a
Yeah.
nasty boss and you're trying to figure out how to navigate around him. Come talk to us. We're always here. And I want to who are wondering what white rabbit candy is. This is white rabbit candy. Okay, so it's a traditional Chinese snack, already
Caramel.
served at Chinese New Year when we were kids. Then there was a toxic chemical scare for a while and it was banned in Singapore. But then again, they're back on the market, I hope, and in different forms, ice cream and everything. So this weekend, bring your kids out and you see White Rabbit go give it. I don't know. It's just one of those fun things which we talk about. So anyway, if you have any career questions that you want to ask, please just feel free to reach out to us. We're always very happy to share ideas with you. And just keep listening and tuning in to our Friday morning shows.
Take care and have a good weekend.
Yeah, and what's your weekend looking like for you, Ian? Another
I don't
hike in the
know.
park or
No, Alvin's got a lot of programs. He's got a lot of
oh,
volunteer work. But on Sunday, we're going litter picking. That should be fun. We're going to make
I
everyone
see
come.
you got a corrective work order again. You got
It's corrective work order voluntarily. We just,
voluntary
and I know right, we do
VW.
it so often, it's become an occupational hazard. I mean,
Oh,
I'm walking along, and I'm just looking. Oh my goodness, why would people just keep chucking, cans and
I told you,
food
right?
packages?
Don't throw that milkshake bucket out of the car window when you're driving. Now see you got to do
It's
pick up rubbish on the weekends. See, I told you not to
I
do
pick
it.
rubbish up all the time, all the time. Every time we go hiking, we pick up rubbish.
Yeah,
Yeah, but yes,
that's so
that's what we're
funny.
doing. What else are we doing? No, I think the kids have a lot. My kids have a lot of programs this weekend. So yeah,
I've got a big cookout this weekend. So
nice.
put some
Have fun.
shrimps on a barbie. Yeah, and it'll be quite fun. So once again, if you have any career concerns, just drop us an email info@careeragility.org. Once again, Adrian and Yen signing out. Have a great one, guys. Bye.